And I studied the Giants, I really did. And that Toth stuff, I gotta tell you, BP, I think that is some adder stuff. The Toth, Toth. Um, Adam was talking about that on the other side over there. This big rig, machinery construction worker, and I should have told him to his face. I should have stopped the conversation right then and been like, "That's adder, stop." But um, that tells me that the Watchmen have really been, beaten down by the adder because they're even making videos about his stuff. And that tells me that Fritz Springmeier is right. They were in the watchtower as slaves. Slaves. No joke. Even if I didn't have any other evidence, the fact that Fritz Springmeier said that, like, I'll listen to whatever he says, and it's not, look, it's not from what he went through, and he went through a lot, but I trust him because he's Prophecy Club. I trust him because he was like the realest guy on Prophecy Club. And he was like routine, like he'd be on there and he'd have radio shows. Like he was like really clean cut with it all. Like he didn't play games. He was like old school Alex Jones whenever Alex Jones was like, bringing on Trump and like bringing everyone onto his radio show. And they all had this guy named V, like 22. And, Steve Quayle had him. Like they all had him on, and he was showing all of the secret information. Like he was like Mike from around the world, but he'd tell you how it is. He wasn't like gonna tell you a bunch of stuff about the climate, you know, that and then call it like a five waves of energy. He wouldn't do that, and he wasn't like Fritz, where he uses the same thing to describe something else. He'd like really bring out some good information, like make it real. He'd be like, yeah, like it's gonna get real like this. And I just hope he's all right. I don't know what happened to him, but Steve Quayle might know. But yeah, he'd be on. Like there were a couple times he went on the other shows too, and it would be like he was a. When I talked to the lieutenant at when I talked to that lieutenant in the backyard at Harlan Park, he'd be like that, and he'd sound real young and real like into what he's talking about. He could go real deep with it, and he sounded real young, and he was like animated and energetic, and more so than that lieutenant was when he was talking about going into the desert. But the thing about it was that that's how V was. Like he could make it real and make it like it's an actual event. And I just hope he's all right. And then, but yeah, I studied the Giants, a ton. They were digging up bones near Lindsey Wilson. Finding bones near Lindsey Wilson. I went to this kind of a party or whatever at this place that some of the soccer girls were at Lindsey Wilson, and like it was kind of a rundown, you know, cabin trailer type home. And this big guy, this big kingpin guy came out, and like we're talking like, you know, plastic white chairs, like the old 90s version, like Copperfield version, just like a basic chair, not a reclinable. We're talking like those, and some good vibes that are like, this is really going on. Like, you talking ghost, and you talking like they're digging up bones like right now, and they're finding them. So then I was reading Jack Chick, and Jack Chick kind of like tied it all together. He put a bow on it and was like, look, like they make up the bones. Like he was like, they invent the bones and call it evolution. So then I'm like, when this goes down with the peoples, I'm like, I think just one little tribe could be evolution. Just one little tribe, like one of David's men, one of his thousands of warriors. Just one is evolution. So that's my take on it. But like, um, yeah, I really study that giant stuff, and like, you know, it's not about what Fritz went through. It's just, you get what I'm saying. Like, I knew him. Like, I knew who he was. Like, I could listen to him and be like that's somebody I listened to, like Paul Begley, like where he knew all those old men that died, and that I got upset with my mom one time. It was at right after COVID had ended, and I got upset. I was like, they're all dead. They're all dead. All these guys. And Paul Begley can name them all off, and I don't know them all by name, but I know a lot of their work. And Fritz Springmeier is like that to me. Like, I know what he's doing. And in like 2017 and stuff, I couldn't really find him a whole lot in 2017. I think that he knew that they were getting out the medical guys in 2017. I think he knew that. So he didn't really make too many videos in 2017, or, like a year before, a year after 2017. He didn't really make many videos because they were getting out the medical guys that represent the name of Barack Hussein Obama. That's the name that represents the medical guys that got out in the Michelle Gellar San Onofre during the 2017. That was the medical guys. And so I think maybe he was trying to see, like, is Brock going to get out with them? And I'm not saying he knew me. I'm saying, like, the one who represents, like, the precursor to the Antichrist, like Peter the Roman and then the terrible judge, like in that sense. I'm just saying, like, maybe he was trying to see, like, well, what's going to happen now? And he knew it was a season, and that we got a lot of people out. We did a lot of good things. But and I got upset about that 2017. I know, but I think that it was not the end. We did a lot of good things. It was no one's fault. It was no one's fault. So thank you.